Hello, and welcome to Besties Do Verticals with your besties, Lucy and Alita. Hi, I'm Alita.
And I'm Lucy. You know, something we haven't done, Alita, and I think it's shameful. We haven't asked each other how we're doing. We haven't shared with the listeners what's going on in our lives. They don't even really know anything about us.
Good.
I just got her so off guard. I'm such a jerk. Alita, how you feeling today? I know you've been sick. How you doing? How you doing? Yeah, how you doing?
I'm sick and whiny. That's how
So,
oh, dear.
Obviously didn't really do anything for the weekend. Just slept.
Slept, edited. That's about it. I actually got an edit or two done, which has been tough these days.
Because we keep piling stuff on.
So we keep finding more jobs to do for free. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Well, that's
as
okay.
long as we're having fun. How are you doing?
Oh, well, thank you. I am doing well, I think. What have I done this weekend? I was supposed to go to the amusement park today, but I also chose to edit. Oh, and someone in my family discovered The Sims. I used to play that when I was a kid. When I was probably like 10 or 11 is when it first released. Someone in my family has discovered it. So, yes. And that's a blast from the past. I actually have The Sims on my computer. Do you remember? Oh my gosh. Do you remember Twinkling? Do you remember a discussion that they were going to make all the BL boys on The Sims? Do you remember this? You're like laughing because you do.
Vividly, yes.
Yes. I don't have time to play The Sims, so that's good. It's like, that's a great idea. Anyway, well, in the States, it's Memorial Day tomorrow.
So you're off.
I'm off. I'm really excited. I think I'm going to, yes, I'm actually going to also go out to lunch with someone else in my family. That'll be really fun because I don't get to see them too often. So I'm looking forward to that. And then probably editing this podcast. But look at us. We asked about our days and our weekends and how we're doing. Yay!
We'll try to talk about it anyway.
Yeah, we'll try to do that more on the podcast, you know. Okay. Today's vertical is A Shot at Love, which is the first girl love from the brand new app, Chera TV, starring Adriana Oliveras and Georgia Bridgers. And it was both directed and co-written by Rachel Rose. The summary from CheraTV.com says, when war photographer turned paparazzi Noor Markova goes undercover at an elite couples retreat to expose celebrity couples Celine Velasco and Nacho Rivera. What a name. She did not expect a scandal, let alone sparks. As secrets unravel, addictions surface, and a hidden pregnancy threatens everything, two women trapped in carefully crafted lives begin questioning what they truly want. The perfect shot comes at a cost. Wow, that's actually a really good summary. Mm-hmm. That might be the best written summary we've ever read.
Yeah, I messaged Rachel Rose. Thank you, Rachel, if you listen to this, for providing that for us, because there wasn't one on IMDb. So
yeah, it was good.
A Shot at Love opens with a sex scene between Celine, played by Adriana Olivares, she has an H after, and Nacho, played by Elijah Van Zanten. The narrator tells us that she is a celebrated actress and he is technically also an actor. He has left the bedroom curtains and window open because he likes an audience.
I already don't like Nacho.
A bit of a fake out here as we see Noor Markova, Georgia Bridgers, about to take a photo. But it turns out she's not actually there. She's taking photos of birds. Her phone rings and scares away the bird, and she declines the call from a-hole editor.
That's like a really nice touch. I like that on the phone. But also, I did not catch that at all, that was a fake out. By the way, I did not catch that.
It is. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I got from it.
I believe you.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. Over me. So I am sure that's exactly what that was, but I thought she was trying to peek through their window or whatever. And when I saw that you wrote that, I was like, really? So I believe you, girl. I believe you.
And something else, Noor's phone is like the flip phone that I had in like 2006, which
do you think
is interesting?
Yeah. Do you think
in light of what we learn?
Right. Do you think it's maybe like based like 10, 20 years ago? They never really give a date.
No. Well, anyway, we'll talk about a little later why it is, okay?
All right, let's do it.
Coming up, we see some evidence that Noor has a drinking problem. She's taking a swig of a flask, and then in the next scene, we are in her trailer, and she's got an empty bottle in her hand. The a-hole editor and his assistant Darby arrive with a job offer. They want Noor to go to a party for charity and get a pic of Celine. The next scene is Celine and Nacho getting ready for the party. She is doing a pregnancy test. Nacho comes into the bathroom on a live with his fans. When he turns off the live to get ready, he finds the positive pregnancy test. He is thrilled, but he throws the test away and takes out a new one and pees on it.
Ew. And I missed that part, actually. I was like, how did it become negative? But now I know.
He jumps in the shower, and when she comes back to check the test, it's negative, and she is visibly relieved. The narrator informs us that Nacho thinks Celine just needs a little time to catch up to his enthusiasm.
The level of fucked up here, oh my God. This, I don't know. I'm like, that's a jailable offense, in my opinion. Like, I'm like, you should be in cuffs. What the fuck?
Yeah, but there's plenty of guys who would do that too.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Now we jump back to Noor, getting ready for the party in her trailer. Darby has sent her a sequin cocktail dress and a red wig, with a note that says, "Don't be yourself." We learn a little more about Noor here, as the narrator tells us that she doesn't want to wear a dress. Most days, she doesn't want to get dressed at all, or move, or breathe. So clearly Noor has had some trauma.
This is the first vertical we've ever seen with a narrator, and I actually liked it. I actually liked the narrator. I thought it was cute. I thought it was a surprise. It gave it a completely different vibe. Also, Georgia Bridgers, who is playing Noor, she is so beautiful. It's one of the first things I noticed when I saw the trailers for A Shot at Love. And when she gets dressed up in this cocktail dress and she puts on like this little wig that makes her a redhead. Oh, damn. No, she is a beautiful woman. I think
they both are absolutely beautiful.
Oh, they're very beautiful. But I've been able to watch Georgia's Instagram reels, and she's really cute. She's really charming, very talented. I don't know. I knew when we recapped this, I had to gush a little bit about her. She is very lovely.
Nacho and Celine arrive at the party. They have won an award, and she is eager to discuss their charity. But he dips her in a kiss because he wants to put on a show for the paparazzi. We don't like Nacho.
Mm-mm.
Noor comes running up just in time to see the bouncer stopping other people from going in, so she bribes him to get in. Inside, she finds Celine, looking beautiful in an emerald sequin dress, gazing at a photo of a woman that Noor took. Noor says that it's exploitive, and Celine observes that it's almost as if they knew each other somehow.
Interesting.
From across the room, Nacho spots Celine with a glass of champagne and rushes over to knock it out of her hand, all over Noor. Noor runs outside and sees Celine and Nacho arguing. She takes the shot, which end up all over the gossip rags the next day. Headlines claim that they are divorcing. Celine's manager books them into a marriage retreat in Canada to try and repair the damage, telling her that unless they fix it, she will have to let some of her staff go. And to convince her, they say, it's elites only, no mortals, no Wi-Fi, no cell phones, no alcohol. And the last one changes Nacho's mind, and he insists they go. And we know why, but of course Celine doesn't.
Right?
Back at Nora's place, she is hitting the flask pretty hard when the editor arrives to tell her that she's also headed undercover to the marriage retreat. Darby will pretend to be her wife. We discover that Nora is a celebrity herself, a star photographer. And as the resort is exclusive, she's the only one on the payroll who can go. He tells her, get me the shot and you can buy the whole damn bar if you want. We see Nacho and Celine arriving at the retreat in her high-heeled boots. Lucy, as a Canadian, it was immediately clear to me that this was shot in British Columbia. And a little Google image search reveals the location to be the Artisan Log Lodge in Mission, BC.
Did you really do a Google image search?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I did not realize that.
I was like, this is obviously in BC. Let me find out where it is.
When they talked about the retreat earlier, did they say it was in Canada or did you just say it was in Canada? Okay.
No, they said it was in Canada.
Okay, cool. That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, it was either Canada or like Washington State because that whole atmosphere, right?
They do a lot of verticals in Canada, so it would not surprise me. I mean, I think most of them are done in LA right now, but...
Oh yeah, this was filmed in Canada. Yeah.
That is cool. That is really cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there were a lot of beautiful scenes in this. A lot of beautiful scenery. I loved it.
You should move here.
I want to. Oh my God. I'm working on it.
Celine and Noor clash when they meet, as Celine believes, correctly, that Noor is there to get pictures of them. She sees no difference between Noor's career as a war photographer and a paparazza, both exploiting people for personal gain. A position that we know Noor actually agrees with. Noor is shocked to find that there's no alcohol. And Nacho is not happy that they will be doing drugs because of Celine.
I know I didn't even catch the drug part, but I guess it does make sense because of later in the vertical. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No one is happy that they have to give up their cell phones, which the retreat owner Margot locks in a wooden box and she throws away the key. In their room, Darby tells Noor that she plans to be Nacho's gay best friend. She tells Noor that there was a rumor that Celine sued a woman who said that they had kissed when they were kids. Later that night, Darby heads out snooping for the cell phones, only to be surprised by Nacho, who has found the key. They pinky swear to keep the secret. The next day, they're making smoothies to cleanse their bodies. Celine and Noor accidentally taste each other's smoothies instead of giving them to their partners. Narrator says they tasted each other's juices.
That part was funny.
Now, the participants get a counseling session with Margot. When asked what brought them there, Darby and Noor have to think fast. And Darby says, I think that Noor's not okay with being gay. While Noor counters, you've made your entire personality being queer.
Cute. I thought that was a cute little thing that got thrown in the session where she's like, well, you've made your entire personality being queer. And said that to the character that's not queer.
Yeah. They definitely thought on their feet.
That's right.
In their session, Celine tells Nacho that he's the only one putting her on display all the damn time. He says that he always cares about her, cameras or not. She counters that she is just human and she's not always in the mood. Nacho says that sometimes he feels she just married him because of his success. She is an Oscar-winning actress, or his money, or his looks. She says that she loves him for himself, but struggles to say why she married him.
So that scene between Nacho and Celine was actually triggering when she started talking about that she's just human and she's not always in the mood. I'm like, oof, just took me back to... I feel like there were some things in this vertical that it was just more real, right? It's not campy, it's not rom-com. So there's things that were written that I think can hit viewers or make them relate more. So there were things in this scene I really related to. That was a little like, it wasn't like horrible, but I was just like, damn, I feel what she's saying. You know what I mean?
Noor confesses that it's hard to love, that it's scary, even when they love you back.
That line hit me. Yeah, that was a good line. Rachel Rose, I don't know if that was you writing that, but that line hit me. It's very true.
It's always a leap of faith.
Oh my goodness. We could do a whole podcast on that. We could do like 10 on falling in love and the dangers.
Later that night, Celine hears Noor moaning. She's got DTs from alcohol withdrawal.
I did not pick that up.
Seriously?
And I was so confused. I thought she was just sick.
No, it's from the alcohol withdrawal.
Well, and for some reason, I think later I thought maybe she did drugs or something and she was withdrawing, like having withdrawals from drugs. I don't know why I did not think about the alcohol, because I've experienced tons of alcoholism in like my personal life with family. And I must, what's the word? Compartmentalize that or something, because I've been around somebody who went through alcohol withdrawal and I do not know why I didn't pick that up. That is crazy. So that definitely shifts my view of those scenes. That's really cool. I'm so glad you did the notes because mine would not have been this good.
Nacho comes in and thinks that she's listening to their neighbors having sex. She tells him that she's not in the mood, and he heads off to the kitchen where he meets Darby and they do some illicit snacking. The next morning, both Noor and Celine are feeling sick. Noor offers Celine the tea that Margot had given her. And actually, at this point, I don't have it in there, but Celine recognized the signs of alcohol withdrawal in Noor because she said, the narrator says that she had family experience of that too. Noor is starting to feel something stirring inside. She's not happy with herself. That night, Noor is suffering again, and Darby leaves the room. She's very impatient about it. She runs into Nacho outside, and this was really silly. She does the bend and snap from Legally Blonde. Did you catch that?
Yeah. I didn't catch the Legally Blonde thing, even though I should have. But Nacho's response, I was just like, typical straight man response.
She and Nacho are back in the kitchen sneaking chocolate when Celine comes down. And they hide, and Nacho lets slip to Darby that Celine is eating for two. In actual fact, Celine is making some medicinal tea to bring to Noor and says that it's so that she can go to sleep. Like, here, have this, I need to get to sleep. Celine is also having feelings, obviously, but she snoops in Nora's wallet and gets caught. She asks about the girl whose photo Noor carries.
And the only thing I think that was missing is when she leaves the kitchen, doesn't she just kind of like burst in to Nora's room? And I can't remember
She
how
just walks straight in, yeah.
Yeah, and she just walks straight in, and I can't remember their exchange. But yeah, and then she was snooping through her wallet.
She says, she's like, brings her something, and Noor says something about her, doing this for her, bringing her the tea. And she's like, I'm just doing it so that I can get to sleep. So.
Yes. Cool.
Like, I don't care about you. It's just so I can get to sleep.
And it's funny that she says that, because I think at this point we don't believe that. Like, we can tell she feels obviously she has some attraction to her and she won't admit that, but it's more, I think she feels very emotional since she knows what she's going through.
Also, pregnancy hormones, which Celine doesn't know about.
Yes.
But that would make her extra nurturing.
Agreed. Yep. As soon as that happens, woo. Yep.
The next morning, they all go for couples massaging each other. And Celine is not impressed with Nacho's wandering hands. Darby and Noor squabble, and Noor is distracted by how badly Nacho is massaging Celine.
It was awful. I was like, ugh.
She offers to show him some tricks. So they trade places, and Nacho goes to massage Darby. Nacho is much more into massaging Darby than he was his wife.
But I liked seeing Noor massage Celine, because suddenly I'm like, yes, that's how you should be massaging. So I felt happier for Celine, at least.
And I don't know if you caught that, but Margot slips them all an aphrodisiac too. This scene.
Didn't get that. I guess it was part of the couple's retreat.
Shows
probably.
The bottle.
Oh yeah, and okay, so she obviously it's a marriage retreat, so she wanted them to get to some boom boom. Cool. I haven't said boom boom in a while. I've said
boom boom.
I know. I've said so many other things that I've repeated. Like so. I need to stop that. I can cut the ums out. But I have not said boom boom in a while, so we're just gonna go with that one.
Okay, got it out of your system.
I know. We're good. We're good.
Noor heads out to the woods to take some nature shots and to get out of further sessions. She's surprised by Celine, who is out on a hike in heels again. Celine twists her ankle, and here is a classic vertical trope. They fall, and Noor lands on top.
I think this might be the only vertical trope in the entire vertical.
Yeah, well, at first, when Noor and Darby had to share a room, I was like, ooh, forced proximity, but no.
No, yep, not that one.
Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, Nacho and Darby are flirting again. As Noor is helping Celine back to the house, Celine says, "You do ask a lot of questions.
Technically, I am a journalist.
Or you don't want to let anybody else get a question in."
I hear you, and I reject your accusation.
Celine asks her why she became a war photographer. Noor says she doesn't know. "Do you know why you do every little thing you do?" When Celine says yes, Noor asks why she sued the girl who said that she'd kissed her. Celine says that she doesn't know. And it starts to rain. And, it's BC.
Does it rain a lot in BC?
It's not surprising.
It's got to be what? Lots of rain in Washington, Oregon, and BC.
Mm-hmm. Darby and Nacho are having a deep conversation in the kitchen. Nacho admits that Celine is actually pregnant. As it starts to storm, Darby heads out to find Noor, only to meet her coming back with Celine. As soon as they are alone, Darby threatens Noor, "If you don't get some pictures tomorrow, Celine's not going to be the only one in pain." Nacho and Celine are late for the next session with Margot. It's a sound bath. Lots of moaning. Noor sneaks out later that night and catches Nacho and a woman having sex in the hot tub. She thinks that it's Celine and snaps some pictures. She's about to leave them for Darby, but has a change of heart and hides the SD card. Darby and Nacho are still trading confidences. She says, "One orgasm method of your choosing. That was your price. Now talk." He admits that Celine doesn't know she's pregnant. Darby is disgusted, and Nacho says,
"Don't be like that. You're a lesbian cheating on her wife with a dude."
Darby says, "Bro, I fucked you. I got off. I'm not a lesbian."
"What are you then?"
1 degree less morally bankrupt than you. Noor lies and says that she hasn't got any photos. Darby tells her to go find her birds. Instead, she finds Celine, who is reading a book, and Noor brings her some tea. Noor asks why she's still with Nacho, and Celine avoids the question. Noor asks her again why she sued her friend. Celine says that she didn't go through with it. She tells Noor that it was 15 years ago, that the girl kissed her and she didn't want to hurt her feelings, so she kissed her back. That's a little weak, frankly, but anyway. Years later, when she got famous, the girl made a big fuss online. She says, "We already got our instant karma. I don't know why she needs us to pay twice." And she tells Noor that 2 older boys caught them and made them kiss the boys to prove that they were not gay, and that they let the boys touch them so that they wouldn't tell.
That confession was hard for me to hear because that part is so true for so many girls. It was triggering. I understand, though, that that's likely what they were going for, is to showcase the reality for lesbians, for women who love women. It's not as simple as it is for straight people, especially when you're young. You know, when you're not even sure what you're doing. You're not even sure what you're feeling. You just know society is telling you, boy, girl, and that's how you're supposed to feel. But there are so many people who do get taken advantage of. So yeah, I mean, to hear they were taken advantage of, that sucks.
Noor tells her, "Celine, you know that's not karma. That's sexual assault. Nothing that you did made them do that. That wasn't your fault. It doesn't matter how old they were." And Celine just walks away. Margot has them roaming around silently to hear their inner voice. Noor puts the chip back in the camera and goes out to take photos. Celine catches her about to snap a photo and leads her to the hot tub. She insists that Noor gets in, telling her, "You sneak around taking pictures of people, forcing them to bare their souls. You ask so much of others." As Noor undresses, she tells her to show herself. Noor has scars on her torso. Celine takes some photos of Noor, and she does ask her about the scars, and she says that she put the shot ahead of her personal danger or something like that. There's a lovely moment in the hot tub where Celine tells Noor that she still underestimates danger. And Noor says, "You're so not what I expected. You're so real and down to earth and tough." So you thought I was vapid, vain, and in constant need of validation? Side note, that's Nacho she's describing.
Right?
Celine gives her permission to take some photos and admits that the reason she knew how to make the potion to help with the delirium tremens is alcoholism runs in her family. Celine looks through the photos in the camera and sees the photo of Nacho and asks who it is. Noor says, "You mean it's not you?" Celine is naturally furious when Noor admits that she was paid to be there and take pictures of her. As they are arguing, Nacho appears. Celine says, "Come in the hot tub. Noor is going to take a picture of us." And of course he agrees. They kiss, and Noor has to take the photos and looks just devastated. Back in the room, Celine won't touch Nacho, but doesn't confront him. The next day, it's time to take the drugs. Some kind of hallucinogenic? Nacho gives Celine a cup without the drugs. Nora says that she's going to pass, which, given that she's just got clean, makes sense. And Celine says, you're going to pass on this one thing that's going to show your true nature, show how ugly you are? And she drinks it. Margot tells them to go find a quiet corner and wait for the drugs to kick in. Nacho finds Celine and she tells him to go away, to let her have this moment for herself. The narrator says, a placebo is a very powerful thing. Instead of confronting Nacho, Celine goes to Nora's room. You just come and barge in, blowing up my life. You never answer any questions, like who the fuck are you? As Celine is berating her, Nora has a flashback to the woman from the photo and her sister. Celine comforts her, and later Nora asks who was screaming earlier. She says she doesn't want to tell Celine about it, but she will. She explains about the woman from the photo at the fundraiser and how she is the one that got Celine into this whole mess by taking the pictures of her fighting with Nacho. The woman in the photo was her fiancé, and she feels that she killed her. The photo was not supposed to go out until she could get her fiancé to safety, but it got published, and they found her and killed her. There wasn't even a body to identify, and they told me by fucking email. I can't even open up a web browser without getting a panic attack. Hence the flip phone. No smartphones for Nora.
That is such a good detail. I can't believe you picked that up. That's amazing. That confession was definitely a surprise and a really sad part of Nora's story and life.
Celine confesses that she lied too. She kissed the girl from her high school first. And they kiss, and it fades to black. Which I know that you're not thrilled about, Lucy.
I was hoping for more. I haven't found a girl love yet that's been brave enough to not be fade to black.
To
Maybe
get spicy
someday.
like the boy loves to.
I very much want a spicy girl love, but I guess this just wasn't the story they were telling, and that's okay.
When they wake up the next morning, Celine runs off to think about everything that's happened. Then we see a gloved hand sending the photos of Darby and Nacho. When they all get their phones back, there are a million notifications for everyone except Nora, who has the flip phone. The pictures of Darby and Nacho have been published, and they're all over the media. Margot asks to speak to Celine and gives her a new pregnancy test to take. After the retreat, Nora is home in her trailer, watching video of Celine on repeat. Celine thinks that the retreat didn't really give her any insight. But then we see her taking an Are You Secretly a Lesbian quiz. 3 months later, Nora is about to head back to a war zone when she sees Celine and Nacho on a talk show, announcing the pregnancy. Surprise guest on the show is Darby. She tells them that she overheard Nacho confessing to his lover that he hid Celine's positive pregnancy test. Celine remembers Nacho stopping her from drinking. Then she confesses that she also cheated. She says that the timeline doesn't match, and Nora is the father of her baby. Darby has been recording and sends it to Nora. Outside the studio, Celine sees on the news that Nora is headed back to a war zone, and Nacho confronts her about cheating. Nora appears and tells Celine that she doesn't know how the photos of Nacho got out, and Celine admits that she is the one who sent them to the press. One instant click, and I was free from my big, fat, fake life. Celine says that her career is over, but Nora shows her on her phone that the public is with her. They kiss, and Celine says, "Promise me you're staying." Nora says there's just something she has to go and get, which is her deceased fiancé's sister. Celine asks to take it slow, and Nora says, "Should I cancel the U-Haul?" And the vertical ends on a kiss, as it should.
You know it's truly written by a lesbian because they threw the U-Haul in there, and I'm like, that is such a joke in the community, and it's freaking true. That's why it's a joke, but it's true.
Lucy, I know you have some thoughts about this one.
I do. I mean, ultimately, this was beautifully done. You almost forget it's a vertical, right? Because what we are used to watching is honestly so poorly slapped together half the time. And the acting in traditional verticals is quick and over the top. So Chera TV clearly wants to do things different and give us proper cinema and a wonderful viewing experience. I do truly think that this is what they are working towards achieving, and you can see it all over A Shot at Love. The cinematography, the care for how the shots were taken, the casting for these specific actors. All of the actors made their characters so believable. I was really engaged to who each character was. I loved the care they took for the costumes, and the story was heavy and light at the same time, which I think is a nice little feat. I think I was really proud to see that they accomplished. I think there were parts I really did hope for more. I was surprised we had more straight sex scenes, and the one intimate queer scene was fade to black. But honestly, like I said earlier, I think that was an artistic choice. Clearly, all the verticals I've been watching have skewed my expectations. I think this is one you definitely need to appreciate as more than the traditional verticals we're all used to, which are usually derived from a different culture or Wattpad type stories, which have their place, and I personally love so many parts of those, of course. But Chera TV is clearly working towards creating an app and experience for the Western audience, which is what so many of us want. We are tired of women being slapped and beaten and tortured. We're tired of seeing kids tortured for entertainment. Looking at you, Good Short. This was a true and honest story with a beautiful love that got to start unfolding before our eyes. I loved that it portrayed strong women, which I feel is missing from the vertical space. I really like how Chera TV is conducting their releases. They are kind of working more like an app store. So you buy the movie and it's yours forever. I like that. I wish I could buy a lot of the other queer stories I really love.
I really enjoyed this. I would just like to say that despite the narrator's tone, which I felt was slightly at odds, and the music, they both seem very appropriate to the vertical rom-com type drama, whereas the look of this feels more like a Netflix or an HBO special. It looks like a TV show, like a good quality TV show, rather than a vertical. In terms of the lighting, the color, the sets, everything is a bit more refined than the average vertical, as you said. It didn't have the typical vertical hooks every few episodes or rely on many of the obvious tropes, and I really appreciated that. I personally thought that the storyline was good and the characters evolved throughout the vertical. Well, aside from Nacho. Even Darby redeems herself at the end. Perhaps not what you were expecting from a girl love vertical in some ways. I know you were looking for more spice. But yeah, I thought the actors were great, really believable in their roles, and perfectly cast. The location was great, of course, dear to my heart. All the verticals should come and film up here in BC. We have so many incredible locations and some great film studios with an amazing variety of sets to work with.
Yeah, who do you want to go up there, Alita?
Everybody.
Of
Everybody.
Course. Sure, okay. I said
Girl,
no names.
I'm gonna kill you.
I said no names.
You said no Greg teasing.
I didn't say that. I said I wasn't going to mention Evan. I said I would go a whole episode not mentioning Evan. That's all I said.
Let's go a whole episode without teasing Alita. Okay. That wraps up this recap of A Shot at Love on Chera TV. Thanks for listening. We hope you'll come back for our next episode. Bye, besties.
Bye, besties.